Hello.
Hey. Welcome back to Waterfed Wednesday.
How's it going?
It's going awesome. If you're listening to us now, let us know if you can hear us well, if we're too loud, need to increase our volume. Please post it up in the comments. So, once again, welcome to Waterfed Wednesday, where we go beyond the bucket and dive into the world of waterfed cleaning, answer questions about our equipment, our business, and our goals of helping cleaners worldwide get the job done faster, safer, and better.
I really like that catchphrase. Beyond the bucket.
Thanks, AI.
That's good.
Well, I'm Alex Brunner, and this is...
I'm Max Bacon.
So we're your hosts for today's episode of Waterfed Wednesday.
That's right.
Just a couple of reminders. If you're new to this, you can check out our previous episodes of Waterfed Wednesday. You can do that at our Facebook page. It's going to be at RHG space Tucker Pole Systems, and our YouTube channel is at Tucker_USA.
A lot of good resources on there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Max, for jumping in and helping us out, getting a lot of that content.
It's coming. More is coming. All the carts will be covered soon.
Awesome. Just a couple reminders. Or a main reminder here, we still have our 15% off site-wide sale for the remainder of the month.
And does that stack with the Team Tucker membership, Alex?
That's a good question. I'm kind of out of that world.
It does.
Does?
That's 24.5% off all products, free shipping.
Amazing.
Incredible.
Amazing. So if you've been eyeing some systems as we have getting ready for obviously we're in summer, things are humming along, but fall is coming. With that, you're going to get slammed with work. Make sure you have all the equipment you need for your fall cleanings. So check out our website, tuckerusa.com, 15% off site-wide. Yeah, let us know where you're watching from. How's the weather on your end right now? It looks like the sun is back. We just had a storm.
Let us know if you're going to have a hurricane there for a second in Colorado. That was crazy.
Yeah, the wind was definitely up. Let us know if you're slammed with work. Let's see. I know we have some viewers. Let me go back to Instagram over here. Once again, if you're joining in, let us know how we're sounding. We don't have someone giving us any feedback, so hopefully you can hear us well. And so obviously Sean is not here with us. Where is Sean?
I wasn't sure where he was until I just got this picture in from you, and he looks like he's in a fun place. Let's show the crowd, see if you can guess where he's at.
Jamie Hallman's checking in, says sounds good. Thank you, Jamie. So let's show where Sean's at.
Anyone know where Sean is?
Well, hey, look at that. Look like he's having a good time. Hopefully, Sean, you're still enjoying yourself. And if you're on here watching, great. But looks like you're having a fun time out fishing. Check out that pole. It almost looks black and yellow. Do you remember a few years back we had on April 1st a black and yellow Tucker fishing pole?
No.
Yeah, April 1st.
Is that small yellow one we had?
Yeah, limited time. We did have it.
I do remember that, actually.
Right on.
That looks like a fun place, big fish.
Cool. So I think we let the audience build enough here. So what are we talking about this week on episode 9, the ultimate guide to carts? So our discussion this week will be focused on helping you identify the carts for your situation. Max, I know when I was in sales, I would get this a lot. It would be, it could be anyone from just the idea of getting into window cleaning, not knowing what to get, to they've been doing window cleaning traditionally and want to get into waterfed.
Yeah.
Or we have a lot of our experienced guys that are growing their businesses with our equipment, and they're coming back and say, hey, I'm in this situation. Can you help me out? So you're now the one
I'm answering, taking up that mantle.
So tell us, how do you help somebody out? Say in this situation, I'm focusing on maybe residential. What's a good cart? What's a good kit setup?
Yeah, so I think in any of our, whether it's commercial or residential, you have two roads you can travel down, and one's going to be, entry level, getting your foot in the door, and the other method is going to be future proofing yourself
Yeah.
for that area. And there's a couple different ways to go down that path. Obviously, the rival cart is our entry level cart. Still durable, still tough, still makes pure water. All of our carts do the same thing. There's just some niches of how much water do you want? How long
Right.
do you want your pre-filters to last, your carbon and DI?
Yeah.
And, that's pretty much the difference between all of our carts.
Sure. So give us a little guidance. What's a good tool for someone to use if it's not talking to you on the phone? Say they're at our website, and when you look at our website, it's a great looking website, but if you're new to WaterFed, it might just be way too confusing.
Yeah. So if you come over here and if you look at our website here and you come down, obviously you're looking at all these carts. You're saying, what is all this? I got poles, any of this kind of thing. If you keep coming down here towards the bottom, you'll see this right here. Which Tucker kit should I order? And this is going to be the quiz that I made. And this is all the resources that I've taken from, my years in sale experience so far in tech support. I kind of compiled that into this quiz here. It's going to be this pop-up page, and it's going to ask you a series of anywhere from 7 to 10 questions. And it's going to provide you with what I think, from my experience, what cart you're looking for. And obviously here, the first page, consider the Team Tucker membership, especially buying a cart first time, second time, whatever time. Make sure that this is active if you're a consistent shopper. The 10% discount and free shipping, you can't beat that. So this is just here to notify you.
And just to recap, I'm looking over at Instagram, seeing people chiming in where they're from: Puerto Rico, Vancouver, Ontario. If you're just joining us, we were talking about this before. We have the 15% site-wide sale, and Max said if you get Team Tucker at the same time, you get to double stack these savings. So definitely consider Team Tucker. Go ahead, Max.
All right. So after we cruise through this Team Tucker membership, you're going to be presented with an option. Do you want mounted or mobile? Now, Alex, when would someone make the decision to either mount a system or to get a mobile one?
Well, that's a great question. As a former cleaner, if you're getting into WaterFed, you're probably like, well, you look at that fill and go, I mean, that thing is sweet. I've used it. It might be a little intimidating. So you're most likely people are going to go, I'm going to go with a mobile setup.
Mobile for you?
Yeah.
Excuse me. I lost that page. I don't know what to do.
Oh, so let's do this. Sorry, technical difficulties here. Here, let me take over.
I'm a novice here. Thank you very much.
All right, we gotta minimize. Sorry, just minimize this page, maybe. We need some music because now nothing is showing up. There we go.
So, as I was saying, we're going to go with mounted for this situation. I think if there's a lot of people who already work off of trailers, that would be more pressure washers recently. And that's when we can go down this tree later. Now, are you doing more solar panel cleaning or window panel cleaning? Obviously, solar is a big upcoming market right now. This renewable energy is huge, and a lot of people are asking about this. So let's say solar panel cleaning. Residential or commercial? Now, what would be the difference between, obviously, this picture kind of describes it in itself. Residential, you're going to have small panel arrays on the roof. Commercial projects can be, I've seen parking lots with canopies covered in solar panels, anything like that. Just a lot more panels, bigger panels.
Yeah.
And you're going to need more water to do something like that.
Right.
So if we come over here and we go to the next question, obviously we reached the end of the quiz here. I personally think you're going to need a pump. You're going to need a lot of water to do commercial.
Mhm.
And you're going to need a lot of water. And so the top pick, the max output, we designed this cart specifically around solar panel cleaning. 2 40-inch ROs, 20-inch DI, the ability to toggle between RO DI water and RO only water, because sometimes that's all you need to get through solar panel jobs is if you can get under 30 ppm with RO water, you don't need to burn the DI resin.
Yep.
So this cart was made for solar panel cleaning. We brought the H2 Pro back, 1 RO, same thing, 110 volt pump with an RO DI toggle as well. And then we also have the 4060 cart. No pump on this one, although obviously we do have our booster pump that you can use to get this comparable to, say, the max output in terms of upwards of 3 gallons a minute.
Yep.
And so this is the quiz that I made that kind of points you in the right direction. And this is repeatable if you want to look at different options.
Yeah.
Let's say you want to do mobile, but this time we're doing window cleaning. And are we doing residential this time? Sure. Now it's going to prompt you here to look at the ultimate residential kit. And this is a good place to stop and talk about our kits that we've created.
Yeah. We
have a lot of kits, commercial kits, residential kits, and obviously basic kits for any of our carts as well. Now, why would someone look at this and say, this is a great place to jump in? What's the price point? What all do you get in this ultimate residential kit? And why would someone be interested in this?
Yeah. So when we went into creating this kit, I believe it was February of 2023. What year are we in now? Yeah. So last year, before the start of last year, we really wanted, we
Sean.
noticed, Sean is here. Nice work, fellas. Thank you. So we went into creating a kit around the residential kit. We're getting a lot of those questions like, hey, I'm getting into residential work. What is an all-in package? And at that time, I think we just had like the rival and a pole and just a regular brush. But as you go into residential work, you might run into a lot of different situations. The 30-foot pole is great because it will work up to, I would say, most 2-story, even 2 stories with walkouts. Like you have a walkout basement on the back side. If the terrain is level on the back, you're definitely going to be able to reach that. But that might be too much pole for, say, if you want to do water fed on the first story only. So, hey, let's throw in the Junior. That has a reach height of 15 feet. So I used the Junior back when I had a different home. It was just a tri-level, so I can reach all the levels with just the Junior. So you don't have to bust out a longer pole. And then you get the brush, different brush options. We have the hybrid, we have the boar hair, and then we have the new glide brush. So it has a lot of brushes that you can use in different applications depending on how well maintained the windows are. Maybe it's somebody you go into that you've done repeatedly, or it's a first time clean. You might have issues with caked on stuff. So you have the mini scrubber, you have the alpha scrubber there. A lot of favorites, really compiled what people really love to use. You have the option to throw on the rinse bar if you're a fan of it. Some people are, some people aren't. I personally enjoyed using the rinse bar in conjunction with that swivel gooseneck. It really lets you get into the corners, and with the swivel, you can not always overshoot and hit the top frames. And then the cart itself, it's ideal for residential. Most, especially if you're in a city water area that has typically good pressure, you're going to be able to reach up to that 30 feet, no problems. And then with all our carts having your extra pre-filter and post-filter, that's huge. If you're out in the residential work, the last thing you want to do is be cleaning Mrs. Smith's home and you're starting to spot and you don't have any DI. So that's huge.
I think one thing I hear is like people find their brush and they stick to it. People like, I've been using Boar's Hair for 5 years, love it. And back in our old kits, when you only got one brush with it, you'd have to go try out all 4
Yeah.
or 5 of our brush types. You know, we've gone through a lot of different materials and different ways of doing this. I think in the residential kit, being able to have all 4 in front of you, you could find the brush that works best for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I love about the kit now is with all our stuff is the new lock system. Um, for, you have to take time, spin it off, put it back
Mhm.
on. Now it's a quick and easy swap out. So as you're finding the brush you would like to use more often, you can just quickly interchange those. So that is, why we came up with the ultimate residential kit. Um, I would say this is, we pose that question to you. What kind of recommendations you would have? Uh, what I've noticed, and we'll have people call in, and this might be going off the topic a little bit, but the cart that they started with might not be what they're needing now because they've maybe outgrown it. Now there's
Yeah.
maybe you're wanting to do maybe you're still doing residential with maybe some commercial work where you're going into 4 or 5 stories,
Yep.
but your use case is that you're still not like 8 hours a day. Then you can add on the booster pump. That's going to help out. But what we'll often see is that when you're first starting to get into water fed, what you always hear, well, we only use water fed on repeat cleans. But then as you grow your business, you get more and more used to water fed. So you're using it more and more, meaning you're going through your DI more. You're going through, you're using your RO more. So we'll get those. Hey, I'm noticing I'm using DI faster,
Mhm.
and is there something wrong with the DI? And really, it's more likely your use case. You're getting more comfortable with it. You're using it more, and so what I'm saying, when you can go two schools of thoughts here. Use the system you got, and then when you are you're growing your business, maybe you can. I've seen people like we got Jamie here. He's had he's upgraded his systems. I think you sold off some of your older systems and you upgraded to that, or you can kind of build. Maybe you're buying pre-filled resin. Maybe you switch to fill in
Yeah.
your own, save your money, get a boost pump, add on to what you have. So just really think about it as you're purchasing, how you intend to grow. As you grow your business, how you're going to use water
And
fed.
I think there's a couple, I think a lot of these are future proof carts, and I
Yeah.
think that they can go a long way. Um, the rival, obviously residential based. And
Mhm.
then you have the crossovers, which would be, I'd say, the 4060 and the H2 Pro.
Yes.
These both excel in both commercial and residential.
Yeah.
As Alex was saying, for residential, obviously the H2 Pro has that built-in 110-volt pump on it. And that's something that's going to require power. And so when you show up to a house with it, you're going to have access to power, whether it's extension cord from the inside, generator on your truck, or power around the house. And something like the 4060 still is pressure powered. And I don't think that in residential cases, and 90% of them, you don't need a pump. I think that, 3-story, 2-story houses, easily doable with the rival or the 4060 on house pressure. And that's where these two really fit in really well. And once you start going higher, then you're going to have more of the H2 Pro that does have that pump built onto it, and the bells and whistles like the RODI toggle and,
Yeah.
all of these features to help you keep a lot of water moving.
Yeah. Where if you're considering getting a water fed, like I said, consider a use case. I remember having somebody who's I I do window cleaning on the side, but I do, largely just like facility clean outs, like when they get apartments and they just mainly do the inside clean out. Well, then this guy won the contract, but based off of that first information, he went rival and a pump. And then he was going through his DI. And then he got this big contract. He was doing 8 buildings.
Yeah.
So something like this H2 Pro you got up on the screen would have been great because it's already got the pump built on. You have the larger capacity of your pre-filter, your carbon,
Mhm.
and then your DI. So those swapping out of resin would be less frequent. So
Yep.
this is when to consider that. Or say if you do residential work, but you're a seasoned business that does quite a bit of residential work, this might be a great option, especially if you're in an area where you have consistently low pressure. So it's all on board. You got that pump. You're not going to have any issues um, really running into low pressure with that.
And then obviously we could talk about the max output here.
Yeah.
This is our creme de la creme, our Lamborghini. This thing was, like I said earlier, designed around solar panel cleaning.
Yeah.
But this thing will tear down anything. It's 240-inch ROs, 3.5 gallons a minute of pure water coming out. 20-inch DI here, 10-inch pre-filters. And this thing is just a beast. I see a lot of people using this not only for, and we're going to kind of segue into the last topic here, not only for on-site cleaning, but also I've seen people using this for filling up tanks.
Yeah.
And because they have 400-gallon tanks, 500-gallon tanks, it'd take you an hour and a half, 2 hours to fill up that size of a tank with this. And, they do switch out resin as they go, moving that much water, but this thing's very versatile. It's made for any job, and it's just awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that our last conversation, and I kind of mentioned this earlier, was our mountables. We have a lot of people in the pressure washing industry who already have these trailers, these big tanks, and they're running their pressure washers off of it, but they want to add window washing. They're out there doing house siding, whatever else. And like, well, might as well get the windows while we're here.
Yeah.
So we've added, we've had the skid mount for a long time, but now we've really seen it incorporated into these other businesses. And in some of these pictures here, you could see it mounted on these big skids. It's out of the way. It's flat. People put it in all sorts of places that are really neat, and they're really good they either use it to draw from a tank full of tap water, or they filter into it at home and have that big tank full of already pure water. And I think that's really cool to see some of these builds that these people have been able to pull off with this.
Yeah. We had a local guy. He was part of a chain franchise, an employee that he branched out, and he bought the what's called the skid mount now for his van, and he had this tray system. It was actually under a deck, so you didn't even see it until you pulled it out.
Oh,
so
really?
Really cool concept.
Yeah.
So a lot of different things. I want to kind of switch focus here. Just real quick, we have over on Instagram, we had a question from Daniel.coconut. How long is an RO membrane on a normal residential filter supposed to last? So I'm guessing, are you talking residential cleaning? It all depends on a number of factors. How much you're running it, what is your incoming TDS, what are other factors? If you're changing your pre-filter out, it used to be, we could say, when I was here in this area in the Denver market, 3 to 5 years was, oh wow, that's
Pretty
the norm.
good.
We thought it was
Yeah.
norm, but as I talked to people really all over the world, it could vary. Are you in an area that's just has bad water quality? Arizona, Texas, parts of California, some people might only get, depending on how much you're using it, year and a half. So it's really, your use case, where you're at, where it'll give you that life rating.
And also a big one is maintenance.
Yes.
If you're not a year-round worker, making sure during the winter you don't let it freeze. You're running water through it during the off season. Bi-weekly is what we recommend. Making sure that it stays healthy so that it's still working over the next year. If it dries out or freezes, those are two big contributing factors to shortened RO life.
Hey, Daniel, so I'm not sure if you've joined us before. Oh, wait, he's got another question. How often do I change out the pre-filter? It depends on what system you have. Something like the Rival, that's a 10-inch, usually a carbon. Those are generally uh, those pre-filters will last you. They have a gallon rating of 5,000 gallons.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to determine. I know when I was cleaning windows on residential, on average size home, I would do. Okay, you have the Rival. I would say do 20 to 30 gallons a house. So you can kind of calculate that
Yep.
out.
And then the 30-inch one's good for 80,000 on that
Yeah, so
bulk
you can get
carbon.
definitely get a lot more out of the
Mhm.
other carts. Um,
And obviously, the skid mount is available in 110 volt or 12 volt.
yeah.
That's important.
So, and just real quick, I'm already noticing. Wow, we've almost reached our clocking out hour here. Daniel, I know you're watching this on Instagram. Check out our YouTube page. We go over filter. I think it was earlier prior to the start of the spring season. We discuss filters on that. So check that out. Going back to your that skid mount, just real
Mhm.
quick. 12 volt is a popular option for those who are doing they're in the pressure washing world. They like that because they have everything on 12 volt. Sometimes we might get questions, would it be better to have the 110 over the 12 volt? You will have longevity, longer life out of the booster, and significantly more performance with the 110. But we understand that the 12 volt is a popular option. Just
It
know you'll
really
get
is.
a better performance out of the 110. So if you have an onboard generator already, that might be the route to go.
And we're going to run a little bit over here. We're going to cover the last thing.
Sure.
That's going to be the fill and
Oh,
goes.
of course.
Got to mention these. These are great for people out of transit vans, people who are going out. I mean, you were a fill and go user yourself when you cleaned.
Yeah.
And so, what use did you find? These are 12 volt systems,
Yeah.
no 110 on these, but kind of go over how it works and why you used it and what you thought was so good about it.
Sure. You look at a big system like that, often guys think, oh, I got to have a ton of commercial work to justify this. Actually, I loved it for residential. We would do 3 to 4 houses a day. So if you can imagine, if you have you're a mobile cart guy, you're wheeling that in and out, tearing down, setting up. You probably could be 15 minutes each time. So you multiply that over 3 to 4 times. Maybe it's 15 to 20 minutes, just depending on the situation when you go plug in. Versus, like you said, we had a van, we opened the door, we already had a poles set up ready to go. So all we had to do is just run our hose out. We had our fob, so we just turned the water on and we're going to work. That it's really, we call it a 50-gallon tank, but it's really high. The full capacity is 52. So on average cookie cutter homes around here, they're 2-story, around 2,500 square feet. I can do 2.5 homes with that. So usually I already start the day with a full tank. By the third job, I might connect there. And then, as I'm cleaning, I'm filling it up and finishing out the day. So I really loved it in residential. Obviously, commercial work, we've done up to 70 feet with this, with 2 poles. No issues. We were running rinse bars, our XL size brushes. So I absolutely love the fill and go.
I think you mentioned it earlier when you said you'd show up to the house. It just looks professional.
Absolutely.
You just roll out of your van. You're not hooking up to any water, their power. Like it's all
Oh.
just in your van and you're
Oh, yeah.
cleaning their house. It means
So
business.
we'll have the van open. We'll have that, that side view where you have the panels. We have that up against our bulkhead. I'll obviously leave the door open, and customers are walking back and forth. They do like to see what's going on.
Oh, they're gonna look
They
in
see
there.
that thing,
Yeah.
and they're like, and they say, "Man, this is quite the setup."
Yeah, they don't know what it is, but it looks fabulous. It works great, and it's really quick to get in and out without dragging hose all across the customer's yard and running their water.
Well, awesome, Max. We are a little over time. Hopefully, I shook off the rust. I haven't been on here for a long time. I think this went quite well.
I really think it did.
And hopefully this is helpful for you guys, and you want to figure out what kind of cart you're looking to get into, whether you're new or you're a seasoned vet. Hopefully this has been a great benefit to you. Just to recap, so we just went over, if you just now started joining, this was episode 9, the ultimate guide to carts. Remember, if you are just now joining us, this will be up on our Facebook page, the RHG-Tucker Pole Systems, and our YouTube channel at Tucker_USA. Remember, this is we have less than 2 weeks to save big site wide, 15% off.
Definitely get in now, man.
Tucker
Savings
USA.
are good.
Yeah, absolutely. TuckerUSA.com. So we look forward to seeing you guys in a couple of weeks for episode 10. If there's a topic we haven't discussed, if you watched over all our episodes, feel free to reach out to us. You can go to tuckerusa.com. You can leave us a message. Often, Max, you're on their live chat. You can chat with Max.
Chat. Also, call in.
Call in.
Main office. Email info@rhgproducts.com. Our office line 303-663-1779. I'm happy to help you answer any more questions you have on systems, tools, or anything else you need. It's kind of not a lot of time today to go over everything, but I hope we got some points across on when to start looking in a certain direction and kind of planning for the future of your business, not just in the now, because there's a lot of growth in the solar and water fed window cleaning business.
Absolutely. All right. Until next time, take care.
Take care, everyone.